Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my last and final video of my Canadian impression. It's been a wild ride collecting cat pat and just overall learning, researching, and just having a great time collecting this very niche camouflage that basically started the trend on digital camouflage across the world. It's not very cheap, it's quite expensive, and a lot of the stuff is quite difficult to find. To really give some background on how I started with this impression, it all started with me playing squads. When I would play squads, I really was kind of grabbed into the camouflage the Canadians had in the game. It really stood out for some reason. And then on top of that, also their rifles with their C79 optics. And that kind of prompted me to start building my Canadian impression. And if you watch my older videos, you can see where I started to buy little cat pad then and there, and then really made that switch into genuine cat pad, which is what you see in front of you. And you can kind of see the timeline up to today of when the day I release this video, that this is what I have currently. It is not 100% done, but it is to a point where it is not farb. If you don't know what farb basically means it's not necessarily too inaccurate, or well, it's not inaccurate to the point where you can tell it's fake. It's pretty darn accurate, I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, and to what I've seen people tell me online. No one has critiqued it, so, and you might have seen me post a little then and there. You may notice the background a little bit being similar to some photos I posted on subreddits or whatever. But this is my final video on cat pat and my impression. I've kind of milked the hell out of it, but let's get into it and not waste too much time. Right here we'll start with the uniform. Right here I have my tunic. This right here is an older tunic, of course, but what makes this one unique is it has, I want to say I don't know if they're I want to say sleeve pockets, maybe sleeve pockets, that's maybe what they're called, but they have these pockets here. Now, the Arid uniforms come with these. They're very common, actually, in a sense. They would come with these, but I've not really seen a lot of photos of guys running it in woodland, or tempered woodland. But yeah, it's that one of the older uniforms. It comes with two slanted pockets, all supported by buttons. You got two right on top, two on the bottom, larger pockets right here. You have your rank pauldron sleeve slip-on, running RCR Canadian or Royal Canadian Regiment, and a sergeant. Your name tape, took off the name tape, of course. Right here, again, same side. This uniform still has the older version of where you would mount the flag. I do carry a IR flag, one of these pouch right here. I do carry the IR flag to replace this. Again, but most likely this would be left empty. This would be taken off, and one of these larger IR flags would be slapped on there. And that's what you would see with the Arid uniforms when they were in the Middle East. But again, for my case and sake, I just bought the blank pouches to cover this up. And then, yeah. And being the Royal Canadian Regiment, I ran with, I believe, the correct division patch, being the 3rd Division, which is the green. So, yeah. The pants, nothing really special about the pants, besides them being pretty darn worn. These ones are, as you can tell, quite worn right there. You can see some damage. And I think a little where the your bottom would be, a little bit near there too as well, right here, a little bit worn there. You can see it. Doesn't really bother me, but pants come with a lot of pouches, Velcro. You have two in the front, two butt pockets. Moving more down, you have like large cargo pant pockets right down here. And then just moving way more down, you have more pockets right here with pull tabs. And then obviously vice versa. You have right here, although not used at all, you have knee pad inserts for these foam knee pads. I do have them. I don't know why I didn't bring them out, but they're barely used. I'll post a picture of mine up right next to in the video when I'm editing it. At the bottom, you just have Velcro, bungee cord, basically when you want to blouse your boots and into your boots. So, basic stuff. Just make sure it's nice and secure for yourself. But yeah, very nice. I think it came out pretty well. I like this uniform a lot. I do want to get more of the newer version ones, new gens, but this I'm fine with. This is still really good. I really like the fact that it comes with these pouches here as well. So the pants, yeah, pants are pants. They're basic. They'll get the job done. But this is what I'm looking for. Moving on, we'll actually start with that piece of equipment right there, because this is what would come before. This right here is a frag vest. These are rare to find. This is basically the ballistic protection that a soldier would receive in the Canadian military. These would have a soft gel armor as well as plate inserts. Here is an exposed one. In here, there would be you would have, plates. And then there would be an insert. You can see the stitching line kind of run down here, and there's that stitching line, and that would be basically what you just saw on the outside here. Behind it, inside, and you can access it through Velcro. You'd slide a plate in front and the back, and then of course there's the ballistic gel. There's one big sleeve, runs right in the front, one of course in the back, and then you get two at the top here. These, I call them bananas. But you get these two bananas protect your neck protection, neck protection or whatever. You could also get these like the shoulder protection, of course, that would mount on these grommets here. I've seen some soldiers carry IR flags on their frag vests. I just put it on there because it came with my order, so. Yeah, and then of course just to kind of get out of the way, a lot of these uniforms do come with these, open washers for water to drain out if you ever do go in water, and you'll see it on all these uniforms, or pretty much in all the pouches and whatnot. But yeah, it's a really basic piece of equipment, but really hard to find, and you have to just be lucky, honestly, to get one of those. You have to just be very lucky. Moving on to the tack vest. Tag vest, fishing vest, snack vest. It's got a lot of nicknames, but most importantly, it is their standard issue piece of equipment as far as their low bearing. It's quite obsolete, and a lot of soldiers are transitioning to third-party equipment like sword, CP gear, and etc. There's different companies that offer better rigs. This one, kind of getting a quick overview of what it obviously has. It's 4 mag pouches, 2 grenade pouches, a pen holder, a mag light holder, although troops really didn't hold it in here because it would fall out, so they would hold it in a different spot. You have 2 pouches here they have specific designations on what you're supposed to hold in here. There's a note card or a piece of paper you get in the military that'll tell you what goes in here. I don't know the specifics or off the top of my head. My guess is probably first aid equipment and other certain, like, your personal belongings. You do have these 2 pouches here on each side. I'm guessing these are your smoke grenade pouches. Here's a canteen pouch, and then your C9 pouch. As far as the C9 pouch, again, depending on what role you're playing or what you're doing in the military, some troops would carry 2 C9 pouches instead of 1 canteen pouch. And then they would throw a camping bottle in one of the C9 pouches and have that as your canteen, because it would hold more than the one that's issued, or whatever this canteen pouch can hold as well. A lot of troops also mounted their canteen, as you can see on this one, mounted it sideways instead of upright, so it's easier to grab the canteen out of the pouch. Right here, this is a kind of like if a soldier were to do their own modifications on this, because it was common for soldiers to do modifications on these tac vests because of how impractical they were in some cases. Right here, I have where the gas bag would go. Here I have a dumb pouch made by CP Gear, attached with malice clips. Although there isn't really any photo evidence of this being used, there are soldiers or on subreddits talking about how they would use these. Some would say they would have them mounted with malice clips, pair rope, bungee cord, you know, just like anything able to attach to these bottom straps here, or they would have it on their belt instead of attached to the actual tac vest. But either way, it's still pretty handy, especially if you're playing airsoft. Another thing is, of course, there's this, before we go to the attachment, as far as the attachment point, it's a Velcro button mix with a zipper. And then right here you do have MOLLE that runs, and then you could attach a bayonet frog. I don't have a bayonet frog or the bayonet, but if I were, I would attach it right here. On the back, troops would attach a couple of pieces of equipment. They would attach, on this back here, it's, you know, you got a handle if you got to pull someone away, but they would attach, I think, their version, whatever, so they had rucks, and I'm pretty sure the Canadian military, you could take the pouches off the rucks, and they would basically put their pouch either up here, or there would be one here that's kind of like a butt pouch, or it'd be mounted high. I forgot the specific names of it, but there would be those two pouches that would be mounted, and it's kind of like your day pack, instead of carrying the whole ruck around. But they would have that, and soldiers would modify, take off the back part of the tac vest and put, for example, hydration sleeves. Again, you know, kind of like modification of a soldier. Moving on to the Blister Protection. This right here is the helmet, the CG634. This is their, I want to say, I don't know if they still use this helmet model. I mean, I'm guessing yeah, but I think they're phasing it out for a better one. But this is, I'm pretty sure, still in the circulation as far as in the military. But right here, I do have dust goggles. Again, this is from, I believe, Revision Military, which is very common, is commonly seen in the Canadian military, that company, which are these dust goggles. The helmet is, I believe, a medium, with the helmet cover and the helmet are actually matching, which is pretty cool. This helmet also did come with scrim and burlap, or netting and burlap scrim. But yeah, this is the helmet. There's not much to talk about it. This is the liner, leather liner with styrofoam. Has a webbed chin strap with a very neat buckle system. It's not like a Pasga, which is like on buttons. It's really hard to attach. It's actually like a nice clip system right there, and then you just have these two buttons you release, and they didn't make the buttons easy to too easy to take apart. So yeah, just come apart like that. Perfect. And then the personal equipment. So you have your iPro. Right, again, back to Revision. Revision sells them. You can buy them. I bought them on CP Gear. They sell them there. Again, or I run with the orange lenses. When you get these stock, or when you get these just the iPro, you will only get a tinted lens and a clear lens. You will need to spend an extra $30 for the orange lens if you'd like. It does come with anti-fog, which is kind of garbage, and it gives you in this nice pouch to carry your iPro in. And it is rated to be hit with BBs as well. Same goes with the dust goggles. The dust goggles also come with a tinted and a clear lens. And again, you can also buy yellow lenses or whatever if you'd like. Gloves, I run tan gloves. Canadian, I don't know, just, you can run, I think, in the Canadian military, I've seen black, tan, multicam, cat pad. The cat pad issue gloves kind of suck, so you would see just troops buy these, and these are cheap. Buy them on Amazon. Then you have, this is a Canadian issued turtleneck or cold weather gator. It's not a balaclava, but it's a cold weather gator, and it's pretty good. It has like a fleece-like material on the inside with a spot to have, you know, your nose to breathe. I wear this to protect my neck from being shot from BBs, and or more importantly, my teeth, and it works. So, but yeah, it's nice to wear, when it's hot, but it's nice to wear. And yeah, this is what they would get, and it's pretty darn comfortable. Moving on to the firearms. Although this is still a work in progress because this is a whole new subject. Right here we have my C8A3 and the current or newly issued SIG P320, or as their designation, I think it's C22. It's just I'm pretty sure it's just a Mark 17 P320. So, yeah. So this is, I mean, there's not much to go over because this thing is just pretty much how it would be. It's just the markings here would say C22 instead of the Mark 17. So yeah, but this is basically the same idea, I guess. And again, this is an airsoft gun. So yeah, that's that. Moving on to C8A3. I've been building this for a while, and I kind of want to go over, give a disclaimer. If you're ever going to do a Canadian impression, expect to spend money on this rifle. And especially you're going to have to wait on a lot of parts. If you want to go full out and genuinely build a genuine C8 or C7 with genuine Dymaco or aka Cold Canada parts, you will spend $1. You will spend a lot. So get ready for that. I cut corners on mine, and you'll kind of notice anyone who genuinely collects this will already kind of tell on what my gun is not genuine and what is. And so let's kind of go over starting from the back. Again, I did review my gun already, but I'm going to review it again because, you know, it's a final video. Starting from the stock. So stock here, this is just a KAR, Canadian Armalite Rifle 15 stock. A real Canadian issued C8 stock would have this like weird, it's not a gator pattern, but it have like a weird like scale pattern going on the top here. Mine doesn't. The butt pad, you would see in black and green. This one, as you can tell, my paint's coming off of it. Why? Because this is actually 3D printed with TPU filament. And it's a recoil pad, sorry, not butt pad. Recoil pad. It's really nice though. Right here, again, green furniture. And then right up front here, we have the tri-rail, again, 3D printed. I painted this furniture, of course, because it's an M4. The optic here is a Holy Warrior. The green cover is wrong. You can replace it with a genuine Elcan cover. The Dymaco rear sight, I 3D printed a model myself because a genuine costs up to $200, if not more these days. Kill flash also 3D printed on myself. A couple things I don't have on this gun is a claw. I want to say I 3D printed these knobs as well, right there. And then of course I had to sand off the US markings for the rifle. Try to paint a little Canadian leaf you can see on there. And then the sling is from CPU. Other than that, it's a pretty, you know, I think I did alright. It's okay, gets the job done. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you guys do have any questions, please ask. And I'd love to answer your questions for you. Other than that, see ya.